Craig Davenport, how's it going, brother? Can you hear me? Good evening from Indiana. Can you guys hear me? Good. We're gonna let some people get in here. I am in my office, but Um, I'm not using all the equipment right now. We're working on it. Oh gosh, yes. Am I? He says, am I driving? Oh, I'm not getting out of the truck. That's for sure. Um, the purpose of having this office isn't to get out of the truck. It's just to have a location where I can create some uh, good content for you guys and interview some of the folks here that can give you guys the questions, answer the questions that you need. Golly, I stumbled all over that, but I'm definitely a driver. I'm not getting out of the truck. And weather in Wyoming, it was crazy a couple of days ago. And my student was driving for the most part, and uh, and man, the wind was horribly bad. I was. I think the sign said 45 mile an hour plus, and it was every bit of that, at least. Uh, what is the positive thing about Swift and the negative things, and how fast do the trucks run? Okay. What are the positive things about Swift? What are the negative things about Swift? And how fast do the trucks run? Trucks are 63 miles an hour on the with the foot pedal, and with cruise you can get an extra 2 miles an hour and go up to 65 miles an hour. What are the positives with Swift? Um, they're letting me do this. So uh, the biggest positive I'm going to say is outside of my special situations. Um, right now, freight is a little slow, but Swift is massive, and they have a lot of customers. And when it comes to slowing down, yes, we do slow down here, but we feel it long after others have. I mean, there's been companies have folded within the last few months, and Swift is kicking it. So their size and the flexibility of them is a big thing. What's a negative? They are massive. That's a big thing. Sometimes uh, the sensitive parts of what uh, drivers need kind of, I don't know if it gets all the way to the top. And when the time comes and I can get there, I'm gonna ask some of those big questions up to the top. For instance, one of my real issues, um, and this is on the company that I've worked for, so this may be industry standard. I don't know, but it's sometimes it's very difficult to get a hold to anybody other than messaging on a Qualcomm. You can make phone calls if you have issues in the after hours and on weekends, and it's just, I mean, very difficult to reach somebody. You will eventually get somebody, but it's you better not be somewhere where you need immediate. If I had to say anything was a negative, that would be the only thing, and you learn to work around it, like getting yourself stacked through the weekend so you don't have to call in. And it really helps out a lot with that. So, but other than that, and I have zero complaints. Craig was Joplin, Colorado. Sounds normal for that part of the. Oh yeah, he said, we was talking about the wind. Um, Wyoming is a special place, man. I mean, you can. Um, we can pass the port of entry at between Utah and Wyoming, and man, the weather could be just perfect, and at that port of entry, 5 miles down the road, it'd be pouring down raining. 10 miles past that, the sun shining. 10 miles past that, it's snowing. 10 miles past that, the wind blowing 100 miles an hour. 10 miles past that, the wind dead still. 10 miles past that, it start all over again, but in a different sequence. It's wild. In fact, with my current student, I have a GoPro on my several cameras in that truck, but I have one that's pointing out in the front, and I turned it on while he was driving uh, last week, and it was snowing. I'm like, man, yeah, we sit in the truck in the t-shirt, shorts, and it started snowing. So I'll just keep driving because, 20 miles up the road, we're not going to have to worry about. And sure enough, 20 miles down the road, we didn't have to worry about. No hippie wannabe. Hey, no hippie trucking and transport wannabe. Prime driver, works for Prime, and he has a channel, and you need to go check that out. Not right now. Wait until I'm done with my live. Then go to No Hippie Trucking and Transport Wannabe. And he's at a barbecue channel too. So you watch any of his videos, he'll have a link up there and send you to his cooking place. And I've had the pleasure of eating some of that steak he made. And he didn't let me take a bunch of it to the house, and I just pigged out on it for a week. And it was really good. So check it out. And he was upgrading at Prime too. So if anybody is interested in, I don't know why you want to be interested in somebody upgrading from Prime, but if you are, he's gonna have some good information for you. Hey, I'm not naive to believe that everyone with a CDL license is coming to Swift, okay? And Prime may be an option for you if Swift don't work, and that's a good source of information. Ryder 71 says, "Good morning. Let me tell you something about this man. If y'all hadn't watched or gone to, I'm gonna spell it, so make sure you get it right. Ryder, RIDER, and then 71. If you haven't checked out his channel, it's this content is unique in a lot of different ways than what you would get in a typical trucking YouTube page, in the sense where there's no he doesn't have a bunch of stupid stuff going on his channel, and there's no beefing back and forth, and some real good talk from him, and so good place to watch. So, and he's saying good morning because the dude runs. He runs really, really, really hard, and he used to be a Swifty, and now he's doing something different with a different company, and running pretty good. Sarah said, "I like that." Well, it is. He said that I mentioned his channel is unique, and it is. It's not hard to find. It's not hard to find trucking channels with a bunch of crap, and it's a little less hard to find someone, a little harder to find someone who's positive on that channel, and he is. And that's pretty cool. That's why I watch it. Hi, I start Wednesday in orientation. Great. Oklahoma City, OKC. That terminal, I would call that terminal some weird names, man. But the swamp is one of them, because let me tell you something. And I hadn't been over there in a while. They may have fixed it, but in the Oklahoma City terminal, you pull in and you're going through the fuel islands like most of the terminals are, right? Well, it's not a large terminal, but if you go in and then left at the row of trucks and trailers that are right there, because it's not a large terminal, you turn to the left. If it rained 5 minutes at any pace of rain, you better not go back there unless you got some hip waders on. That's bad back then. But it don't have a whole lot of places to park, so you going, oh man, you have to think about when you want to go out there and swim. They're gonna get your truck and trailer, so I just don't go back there. But they may have fixed it by now, but it was bad. Anyway, glad to see you come on board. Trucker, Colorado. I'm originally from Colorado, so I'm used to the wind. But now I'm in Indiana, and we just dropped about 60. Ryder says hippie is here. Yeah, he's a good dude. I started Wednesday. Okay, who else? Craig, I had one of the best weeks in the oil field. I made $3,600. Man, let me tell you something about that oil field. I see a bunch of dirty trucks coming out of that oil field, man. Them boys can buy a bunch of soap. They can wash their truck a bunch of times, but everything has its ups and downs, and if that's a consideration for some of you guys that's out here doing it, I wouldn't say not to get at a try, because I hadn't seen anybody coming out of the oil fields that ain't financially doing pretty decent, But I believe you got to have some good experience to do that. Hello from Atlanta. When does the restriction on the CDL supposed? She said. John says, when does the restrictions on CDL supposed to start? And I'm thinking, are you speaking about the? If you're speaking about the restriction as far as getting the automatic restriction on your license, and that's like now. If I'm not talking about, if you're not talking about the automatic restrictions, excuse me, guys, you're not talking about the automatic restrictions. Be a little bit more specific for me, and I'll help you out if I can. Craig says he drive for owner operator, and if you're gonna make money out in the oil fields, then yeah, you're gonna be doing something owner operator for sure. And they don't have no pump trucks either. That's some. They got to have some muscle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What's up to you? Let me see what else we got here. No hippie wannabe. Finally leaving Salt Lake City tomorrow. Watch his videos again. No hippie trucking and transport wannabe. He's here in Salt Lake, and he's upgrading from. Prime has all these different things you got to upgrade to. You got to upgrade 14 times before they give you a truck. You upgrade to this, upgrade to that. TIP training, RUM training, LPQ training, ABC training, all the way through all the alphabet, all them different trainings, and then finally, you got to do some, a month worth of simulations, and then they go ahead on and give you a truck. But watch him go through that, and you know, he might be able to get you out. But he's going to be leaving tomorrow, and then he didn't upgrade to his own truck yet. So there's going to be some more upgrading going on. They help you, help you stick around over there. Swift don't play, man. They just go on, can you drive? Take a test, pass the test. Here you go, burn some fuel. It ain't quite that easy. Y'all know it ain't. I'm just kidding. But there's each company has their processes, and the processes works for them. I like Swift's process because we get on with it. About to get chilly out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10 says it's about to get chilly out here. His name ain't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a bunch of numbers. But look, yes, it's about to get chilly out here. And I don't believe that I'm going to get it handled before it gets chilly. But I wanted to make a couple of videos, a backing video and a winter driving video, and because those are specific videos and they're there's specific information that I need to be given and specific information that I need to be quiet about. I got to be a little bit careful on that, and it's just that I can't give you the wrong information. And although it's working, it may be good information, it may be useful information. At a legal standpoint, it may not be the right information to give. So I'm going to have to be a little bit cautious on how I do that. But what I can do is show you guys how I'm handling a specific situation. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? So that being said, just like I always have done as things are going on, as I have an opportunity to do hands-on right then show you something, that's what we're going to do. And I thought I was going to get it when I was driving with my current student through Wyoming, and it started snowing a few days ago, except by the time I could reach up there and push the button and turn the camera on, we was already getting through the snow. So we wasn't, we wasn't in real snow, but I was in the oil field at too much like 16 hours a day. Too much drive. Oh, he says they drive a lot when you work for the oil fields. Yeah. And from what I got out of it, they hauling fracking sand, and you go and you get loaded, and then you take it and dump it, and then you come back and you get paid by the load. You keep going back and forth and getting more fracking sand, and then you come back and you dump it and come back and get another one, and you get paid by the load. And so the more loads you pull in there, of course, the more money you're going to make. So yeah, they make some long days, but they make some long dollars. And again, you got to have some muscle when you're pulling that stuff, because that's some heavy stuff. No stop. 16 hours. Well, I don't know how you. I know there's some long days, but I don't know how 16 hours work when you got a 14-hour clock. But I get it. They may have different rules. I don't know. I just know, they. But then again, you always hear everybody talk about what they do, make all the money. But it's pretty consistently all the money when they're talking about them oil field folks. I just don't know that something that is supposed to be so good can stay all the way so good to everybody all the time. Then some red flags go off with me on that. Deshaun Reeves, where should I start when looking into trucking? I put a video out about how to choose the one. And if you go to my page and start looking and just look for, just go down till you see the title. It says how to choose the one. Okay, um, because the first thing that you need to do is decide what you want out of trucking. What's your end game? What do you want out of trucking? And and then you need to start finding out what company can best help you get to that goal. And if you're going to wind up with a small amount, you know, and I always use tanker because tanker is not a lot of companies do tanker, and then you have to decide on if any of those that are left over, and I'm just using tanker as a you know, as a starting point, but you need to find out, decide how you're going to get your CDL, how you're going to acquire getting that CDL, and if you need to go through a training, a company that has training and will help you get your CDL, and that may eliminate some people, some trucking companies as well. But at the end of the day, you need to make sure that whomever you choose, wherever you go, that company is going to help you with your end game, and then investigate that company and make sure they've been around for a while and they're going to be able to stay around for a while and they're going to be able to deliver what they promise you. Okay, because all those things are crucial, and if you get somewhere, you know, try to make a career out of that location. I mean, no, the grass ain't always greener on the other side, and don't think that you should just jump ship every time. That's maybe happening because you didn't do your full due diligence before you got into this, okay? And then make sure that if you have somebody that is your significant other, that they are on board with this as well, okay? Because you're going to be gone for quite a while. And also, if you guys are wanting to get into, if you guys are wanting to get into transportation, let's just say this: if you're not coming to Swift, I'm still saying the same thing. Hurry up. If you have if you're low or no hours, or you don't have much experience, or you have zero experience, all that kind of stuff, you know, basically, you know, coming into this, just getting started, if you don't hurry up, you may be out of luck. Let me see here. I'm trying to get caught up so I don't pass anybody. What is the difference between, this is Jim, he says, what's the difference between ETA and PTA? ETA, estimated time of arrival. PTA is projected time of availability, okay? So ETA is when I'm gonna get to the customer. PTA is when I believe I'm gonna be available to be dispatched again, okay? Yeah, I'm about to, I was talking about automatic restrictions. Okay, earlier I was asked about restrictions on licenses, and you guys know how I am about that. I'm just advocate about getting a license with no restrictions, only because I just don't like to have restrictions on me, period. And nothing. I want to be free to do whatever I can do, whenever I can do it, the most that I can do of it, okay? That being said, probably 95% of the companies you could throw a rock and hit out there are not buying manual transmissions. And how many of you guys wanted to get into this and say, okay, I want a 2014 truck, or I want a 2020? Which one you want? I already know you say you want 2020. I can't even hear you, but I know that's what you want. Well, you ain't gonna get it in a manual transmission, because these companies not gonna buy it. You know why? Because young drivers that are coming into this business, the next generation of truck drivers, vast majority of them don't even know what a standard shift is. They get in the car that got 3 pedals down there and they can get back out. They don't know what they're in a space mobile. They don't know. Okay? And the success rate of a student with a manual transmission and an automatic transmission today is way out of the spectrum when you talk about automatic transmissions. They're much more successful, and that's why they're doing it. And I get it. Plus, it's a lot easier on the equipment than when it can be driven safer for longer periods of time. Okay, so I get it, man. I get it. I mean, I don't want a restriction. I don't have one on my license. Okay, I do not have a manual. I mean, an automatic restriction on my license. I've driven a manual transmission one time since I've been out of school. Once. And I didn't even leave the yard with the thing. I just had to move it out of the way. That's it. So a lot of good use my manual license is giving me, right? John Bear, love video. Thank you, sir. I sure do appreciate you guys as well. And I showed you guys some pictures of this room that I'm in, this office I'm in, and the video equipment and all that. And this is only because I want to bring better content to you guys. I want to make I want a positive channel that's going to give useful information, even to those who are my fellow Swifties and just want to reach out to the people who I'm going to have here. And, you know, we're going to talk to some of the higher ups, and they're going to be able to give us some useful information. And you guys will be able to answer questions, ask and get answered questions right live while we're doing it, okay? I would be taking phone calls right now. But, you know, I'm out of all the things I don't have that I should have gotten before the powers that be left is internet access. And I did a little trial this morning, but earlier today, and if you watched it, it kept jumping a little bit. It's only a few seconds long, like half a minute. It kept jumping, and that was because it kept losing the internet signal. And to upload wirelessly, you got to have something strong. So we're working on it. We're gonna fix it. And by Friday, I should be up and running. No hippie. I could have got my truck 5 months ago. That's true. That's true. And y'all know I'm just kidding when I talk about that. But look on his page. He's got reasons for why he stayed on his mentor's truck. And I mean, he had been on that for so long, there wasn't even a mentor anymore. It was like, you know, I think his wife probably getting jealous because he spent so much time with this dude. But they became co-drivers. It wasn't even a mentor situation anymore. I don't know what else the guy could have taught him, but there was reasons why he did it, and it's pretty cool that you can do that over there, you know. And I believe that my student could probably stay on my truck, you know, for a while too. But he probably don't want to be on the truck with me. I don't know. I have a friend who got that restriction, okay. He played really hard not to pass the CDL to get the restriction removed. So Ryder is saying that he has a friend who had the restriction removed, and there are ways to get those restrictions removed. Just like you can go get you know, endorsements added, you can get the restrictions removed off your license. And I just kind of wish there was an option to be able to get that license right out of the bat without having to have that restriction on that. And I'm not 100% sure that isn't completely out of the realm of possibility. So all you can do is ask, you know, when it's time for you to take your test and see if you can do it. Craig said, I don't live far from Tyler, Texas. You ought to, if you're going to school, you should go to Corsicana where I went and get your license there. Pretty cool people up there. Just do any video winter driving. Uh, when I'm in Florida, my first winter out on the road, and I would love the advice and how to handle it. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. And the reason I hadn't done it again, I hadn't jumped on that right away, is because before I did it, I will tell y'all this. Up to this point, I've done everything because I wanted to do it. I haven't asked permission to do anything, and but I didn't cross any lines. And but when I wanted to have access to some of the people I wanted to have access to in order to give you guys information I thought you needed and wanted, well, then I had to, do things a little different. And like the backing series and winter driving, I went to safety first and said, hey, what should we do? How can we, how can I do this and not get slapped on the wrist? And the first question was, what are the things about this company that I don't like? And I can't say that I don't like it because I completely understand, but this is a massive company with lots of liability. And so in order for me to get that done, safety is going to have to let me know what I can and can't say and things I can and can't do. But I also have a video of me winter driving when I was on my mentor's truck, and he's talking me through how to drive in the winter. And we're in the snow, and he's talking to me, telling me talking me through it. And I'm driving for the first time in some pretty nasty stuff, and I couldn't even see the road. You'll see it. And he's talking me through it, and he's giving me a lot of useful information. And then I got off of his truck in December, and as soon as I got out of there, they sent me to Kansas, and I picked my truck up from Kansas, that Volvo I had, the first truck. I went from there straight to the Northeast. I was up there in Michigan when they had that cray storm. I mean, a cray storm. The snow was, bad. And I handled it very well, very well. I'm real happy about that, and I'm glad that my mentor. I'm glad that I went through snow, high winds, torrential downpours, all that stuff while I was in my mentor's truck, because when I faced it, it was nothing. And I like, the best I can do is have you guys ride along with me when we do it, and then because I'll be talking to my student through it, okay? Until I can make a formal video with all those camera rigs. You saw in that other video in the front where I took some pictures of my truck with the camera rigs on it. So when the time comes, I'll be able to create a video where you guys can see the truck reacting, the tires turn, how the tires turn, and how they mesh through the snow. Really good angles and cameras on the trailer, all these different angles, and it can kind of give you a good sense of what how the truck is going to respond in the snow. And but for that to happen, I just got to make sure that I'm giving you guys the right information. So hang in there, it's coming. John Bear, thank you, sir. Love the videos, thank you, sir. If you go to Swift Reefer and live in SoCal, do you orientation? But man, you can. I live in Houston, went to school in Corsicana, and my home terminal is Salt Lake City, Utah. So where you live, where you go to school, has no bearing on where you're gonna wind up in this company. This company's huge, man. I mean, gigantic. And all you gotta do is say what you want. That's real. If you want to be reefer, just go to say, I want to drive reefer. and then they're gonna hook you up. And I have a little fun driving reefer, and I'm a dry guy, right? I pull a dry van, but because I'm here in this term of doing what I'm doing, I may pull a reefer in the mornings and then the dry in the evening coming back, because I run like a team, although it's a dedicated route. So for that to work, we have to flip some stuff around, and they have to keep them playing with my with my category where But listen, they're gonna do whatever you need, man. If they can make it work, they'll make it work. Trust me, they got a spot for you. If it's reefer, if it's dry van, make it happen. I like reefer. I thought it wasn't. I thought I thought I hear that thing all night long. Well, it does that. But I sleep on the bottom bunk. My student may have a problem, maybe I guess. But for me, no, I don't have a problem with it. And the live unloads with those, surprisingly, when it's your turn and you're in the dock, man, they get on. They get on. They don't mess around. They get on. And so I ain't had much problem with but you can do whatever you want, wherever you want. If you're at one terminal going through school, you have another terminal doing your upgrade, that has no bearing on what your home terminal and what it is that you're going to be doing for your home terminal. Okay. Craig pulls rental equipment. I wonder, I may be getting into business, but to pull those rental equipment, man, I mean, that's a good deal. You're home every day, I imagine. And but I wonder, is it comparable to the mega carrier doing? If you know, I don't know if you know, for a mega carrier who does dedicated or regional, where they can go and come back or something like that. The shuttle is what we do, and then they home every day. So you can join this company too. You can be home every day. But I'm wondering if those delivering those rental equipment, is it it's comfortable pay. So let me know, Craig. Oil field exemption. But also you don't deliver equipment to the oil field. Okay. Trucker, Colorado. I'm driving local. Still considering getting experience. Local is good if you got a young family, you want to be at the house. I mean, there's a whole lot to be said about that. By the way, I'm thinking probably Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to do another interview with Autumn. And man, there's a lot of routes that's come available where you can be home every night. I mean, there was like, she scrolled the screen and there was a lot of them, and we're going to talk about that. I try to give you guys solid information, the truth, okay? And all I know is I saw a bunch of home daily positions, and I don't know where they are or what they're about or anything like that, but she will. And when she's here, I'll have this other stuff all fixed up, and you guys can call in. This is the goal. The goal is that we start talking and see what we got, and then I can, over the phone, you guys can call in and we can talk about it. And if you like what we're talking about and you want to give it a try, then you can call Autumn back right then on the other line, and she can send you out the information you need for that particular position right then. But the thing is, you're going to be able to get all the information that you need instead of emailing or calling, waiting for a response. It's all immediate right then. That's what all of this stuff is about, so you guys can get immediate information. Y'all know y'all talk about it. 50 had them videos, they an hour and a half long and stuff. They don't want to wait for a while. Well, now I'm trying to give you some immediate answers. Immediate. and some immediate results. Uh, Ryder, uh, if it's not greener, sow your own grass. That's right. Uh, I've said before about you folks jump from company to company to company to company thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, and I said I don't care what color the grass is on the side. The grass on my side is going to be green because I'm gonna make it green. That's what I do. Fertilize what you got, brother. Fertilize what you got. You don't have to go over there and it might be green grass, but the soil ain't no good. It's only green for one season. Great Davenport Trucker, Colorado. Anything consider experience, but some companies want more OTR experience. I get that too, but I'm telling you something about OTR experience, okay? In my opinion, how much experience you getting on a 2,000-mile run? Think about that. You're going to learn to drive in a straight line, drive forward. You're going to learn to drive forward on concrete for 2,000 miles over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's going to give you experience. So I drive 2,000 miles every 2,000 miles I get another 2,000 miles OTR. How does that help me in all fields? It don't, man. How does that help me be a regional driver when I'm going into the cities and delivering, for Walmart or places like that? How does that help me? I don't know about dodging traffic. I'm on major thoroughfares that rarely see a city. So I don't know why they think about it that way. I don't believe that OTR experience is going to give you that. I don't get it. I could be totally wrong. Okay, somebody may educate me real quick, and I'd be glad to have that education because I don't see what the big deal is. I believe that somebody who drives in, like New York all the time, California, in this city all the time, LA, and all that kind of stuff, that guy, him driving 2,000 miles OTR is nothing. You'd fall asleep, right? Hello from you, Arizona. Love you, bro. Let your videos keep sharing the knowledge. I'm going to give it a shot, Victor. I appreciate you, Victor. Appreciate your brother. You need to turn on Super Chat. That's a good idea. Siri, what is Super Chat? I'll figure it out. Yes, I'm going on 50. I need to remember me. I was one honor. Oh, Mr. D. Okay. I was going on 50. If you remember me, I was one autumn's caseload. Yes, I do. Anyway, I'm on the road, and I've got. Oh, so you got 190 hours to go. So you just got started. This is Mr. D, and it was one of the guys on the Autumn's list, and I do remember us chatting several times, and he's got 190 hours, means he just got started with his mentor. And thinking of mentors, if any of the Swifties out there listening to me right now, if you are not a mentor, I want you to consider it, okay? And not just because it's going to make a huge difference in your income, but we have a lot of drivers, student drivers, waiting for mentors. And you were there one day. You were waiting for a mentor one day. and somebody stepped up, and now you burning fuel because they stepped up and mentored you, and you can, I would just hope that my fellow Swifties would just consider returning the favor to someone else. Jim, you retracted your message. I hope he wasn't. I hope he wasn't cursing me out. Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, to your experience and level. Acres Farm hauling chickens and eggs. Man, okay. You guys can read the feed. His Craig said that he was hauling chickens and eggs. Let me tell you something. I can make a bunch of jokes with that boy. Let me see. Hello from Honolulu. Well, hey, Honolulu. Hawaii. I've had some guys wanting to come work for Swift from Hawaii, and there's some quirky stuff that has to happen for that to make that happen, but I bet that's a pretty cool place to grow up. Let's see. You're preaching the truth on that. That's how the new drivers are getting around with GPS, no paper logs. Man, that is a big thing. So if you are when you go to school, you got to do paper logs. And just the other day, my e-log went down, and we have to do paper log. And you have to know how to do them just in case. It's a rarity that it goes down, but when it does, you got to have a paper log. And then when the Qualcomm goes back up, then they can edit your logs, your terminal can, and they'll fix it, and then you just have that paper as a backup in case whatever happens. But for GPS purposes and map reading, I believe everybody needs to know how to read that map, man. You can just, I can tell you right now, I've been driving down the road and the Qualcomm showed me, 10 miles out in the ocean, and if you don't really know where you're going, you have a backup GPS, which does not need to be your phone GPS, okay? So if you got one of these and you're using Google Maps, don't do that, because if your Qualcomm blanks out on you or whatever, and you still need direction, I'm sorry, then you can't use Google Maps, man. It's for cars. But you go to Trucker Path and pay the $99 a year for the trucker side of it. You can actually get a trucker GPS, okay, and that's if you don't want to get a Ram McNally, or a Garmin, or whatever your choice is. Those better ones are pretty pricey, and when you're just getting started out here, you want to save a little cash. And that's the way to do it. You use the Trucker Path, and then it's $99 a year for that. So you just buy it for that first year. We'll say you went up and buy you a Garmin or a Ram McNally, and it's a trucker GPS, and that's the way of the future. Most people don't know how to read a map, and I get it, but it's a definitely good skill to have. Confused Outlaw, yes sir. Confused Outlaw is commenting on several of our videos. Pretty cool dude. Okay, yes sir. I want to Western Star account with Swift soon to be a mentor, perfect, and make a real bread. Yep. And not only that, make more money, but teach students the right way. You know, confused outlaw. Listen, when we get done, I need you to email me, and we can talk about that too, because you will be surprised how many students are waiting for mentors, and especially when the weather starts getting rough, and then it's going to, get cold, and you're going to have even fewer mentors wanting to take students in the snow and all that. And I don't understand it. I mean, you're sitting right there, you're not going to let anything happen. But having someone that can teach you sitting next to you, as opposed to just a warm body, they just want you to get it done and then they get their money. That's two completely different things, and it's a whole lot of the second, but there's quite a few that do care. Okay, so not all mentors are bad, but those that are really trying to teach us a young driver how to do it successfully, I really want to get a network of those. So hook up with me. Make sure you send me an email when this is done, okay? Confused Outlaw. I'm waiting for you, brother. Sorry if this was really asked, but I just got here a few minutes ago. Okay. How long after plan does it take accepting into training? So that's a big question with a lot of variables. It kind of depends on where location you're going to school, and when you start, and that's just a lot of variables, and I don't want to mislead you, and I want to tell you something and then find out later on that it wasn't right. The best way to get that question answered would be to just ask your recruiter when would be the best time to come aboard, and hopefully the recruiter that you have, if you haven't gone with Autumn, then hopefully the person that you're talking to is going to shoot you straight, and then they'll tell you realistically, based off of where you are, and when you started school, how long would it take for you to actually get on a mentor's truck, get the training done, and then get off the mentor's truck? Your recruiter is going to be the one to answer that. I can tell you this, typically speaking, you're about 4 weeks on a mentor's truck. It's going to do 200 hours. So 4 weeks on a mentor's truck is about to do it. I know I'm going to do a lot faster than that, but I've had some issues running lately. I mean, the last 3 days I just had some bad luck. Load canceled twice. Well, actually, my load was canceled. And no, that's not what happened the first time. I'm sorry, the first one was I went to go pick the load up, and the load was double booked, and somebody else picked the load up. They beat me to it because they were supposed to be there at 4. My appointment was at 5:15. We both going to the same place, and with the same load, and they picked it up so they could get there earlier than me. And when I got there, the load's gone. So, but I made it happen, man. I mean, I made some miles for my students. So I came back to terminal and said, "Hey, what you gonna do?" And they fixed me up. They gave me some local stuff. We just ran all night, local stuff, and used up his 10-hour clock. And so, and then today, I'm talking to you right now, and his office is all late instead of running because my load canceled on me, and it happens, okay? And so, typically, my students are done in about 3.5 weeks. This one may gonna take the full 4 weeks. So how long it takes for that, bro, it's gonna be variable, and I don't really want to say exactly. I can only tell you that 200 hours on a mentor's truck is generally about a month, okay? And how long it takes for you to start school and get done with the school and get to a mentor's truck, just ask your recruiter for some reasonable times on that. Okay. Uh, yeah, yep. Hughes plus Swift keeps you running, and they do. Even though my load canceled on me today, I probably could have did some other stuff, but I wanted to come here and get this done and let my 34 rejuvenate. But they have some really good stuff here as far as routes available and that kind of stuff. So it might be a good time for you to come on, especially if you have 6 months or so of experience already. That you don't have to go through the training academy. Man, some good stuff if you want to be home a lot too. Uh, oh yeah, 50 I go home every week. Uh, but Swift is show up mentors, yes, yes. And but you go home every week. You know that's a big thing. A lot of dedicated and regional drivers do that. You know, they home every weekend. And what happens is the student goes to a hotel for the weekend, and then y'all drive during the week. Then you go home, and then he goes to a hotel for the weekend, and it works out real good. Uh, Keith, what's up, brother? Glad you chatted in with us. Confused. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. He said my channel is one of the best. I'm really trying. I'm really trying to give you guys some quality information, bro. I really am, and I hope that that's what's happening. Uh, yeah, he said wish Swift had tankers. Man, you know, who knows what the future holds? You know. It might go that route. In fact, I got a message on my Qualcomm that says that I have to take my a class for tanker because I have that endorsement, and so I was wondering why they did that. I've never seen a tanker over here, but again, I don't like to be restricted, so I got all of them, all of those deals on my license, tanker and triples and doubles and all that, all of them. I got them all. And they sent me a message saying I got to take a class for my tanker endorsement. So, we'll see. John Daly, what's up? Brandon Caldwell, I hope I'm saying that name correctly. What division do you run? I do Costco dedicated out of Salt Lake City, Utah. I run between Denver and Salt Lake City, Utah, and I do both driving and reefer. Generally, you have to pick one or the other, and they have really worked with me, and so sometimes I'll do some dry and I'll do some wet loads. And I like them both the same, to be honest with you. Barry Hearn, you know what? You're gonna have to be one of my first phone calls because I owe Barry a phone call from about, I don't know, probably about 4 days ago or something like that. And I need to get him. If I'm supposed to go to school this next Monday, so he reached out to Autumn. Man, let me tell you something. Autumn has gotten so busy. I called her Sunday because I was locked out. We got to do these badge things now, right? And I was locked out. And in order to get up here, the badge has to be different. It can't be like the regular one. You just beep and you can go down a little bit, but you got to have different badges to be able to come up and do everything. So I had to get my badge upgraded. But until that happened, I was going, man, I need to get upstairs and I can't get in my office because I can't get up there, right? So I called Autumn. And I wait for the call back. I'm still waiting. That was Sunday. And and I know she gets pretty busy. But I was in the office today. I came in. I was going to go up to the recruiter. I was to talk to her, right? So I go over there and I see her head doing like this from behind the. Then I turned around and walked off. She busy, bro. But I'm gonna go in the morning. I'm gonna say call Barry, and I stand there until she do. Because I didn't call you back yet, so I gotta make sure. I'm gonna make up for it. Have her call you, right? All right. How long before you can stay local? Uh, John wants to know how long do you have to work with Swift before you get one of the locals. Um, I don't want to be wrong again, okay? Because that's kind of a recruiter question, because it varies. You might, and I say that because one of the guys, when I upgraded in Corsicana, and not Corsicana, in Lancaster. My car was in Lancaster, right? When my mentor dropped me off and I went home, and then there was a guy that was going to ride the bus home to Houston, and I said, "Come on, man, throw your stuff in the trunk." I used the company, and I dropped him off, and so of course we talked quite a bit all the way to Houston, and we traded phone numbers and everything, and it turns out once he upgraded, he went straight to Family Dollar or Dollar General, whatever it is, Dollar Tree, whatever that dollar account that Swift has. He went straight to it. First deal. Didn't have to go through OTR, didn't have to do any of that kind of stuff. Okay, so I know that it has happened, and it really kind of has a whole lot to do with what's available when you get there. You just may get lucky, and go right to what you want. How do you know that's going to happen? I don't know, but I will say this. Find out if it's available when you start, okay? Trucking is kind of weird. We would think sometimes that these recruiters don't lie to us because they told you to, yeah, come on. I see it right here. They got 400 trucks need to be filled in your area in this daily runs, right? And you wait a month, and then after the month, you go ahead and go to school, and you're in school for another month, and then you're going to get out of school, get on the mentor's truck, another 3 months pass. How many trucks they need now? You think that company waiting around for you to get done with all of that stuff before they feel they need? No, they're going to feel they need right then. So that means by the time you get off the mentor's truck and you're ready to get on your own, that same stuff that was available 3-4 months ago may not be available again. So you kind of have to wait it out, So I'm just being real with you on let you know how it works, so that you don't be overly, excited about getting exactly what you want as soon as you get out of your mentor's truck, because somebody told you that's what's going to happen if things change. So me telling you that that's going to happen right now may not be that way when you get out, but I will say, I gave you an example that it can happen. I've witnessed it happen, so I know that it can happen. Okay. I talked to you plenty of times via email. Yep. Yes, confused outlaw. And hit me up again so that I make sure that your email is separate, okay? So hit me up again, all right? Confused outlaw. Have fun, brother. You're going to Mississippi. That's a fun place to get. Let me give us 50. Bro, 30 years plus here. All right, George. Hey, man, I appreciate that. And uh, glad you're enjoying it, man. And for all you guys that watch my videos and enjoy my videos, also understand that, hey, bro, I'm I'm here to give you guys the content that you need. So if there's something you need me to cover, something you want me to talk about, uh, reach out to me. And some of it, it might take me a little while to get to it because I got to investigate it and get some information. And then, I look at it, get some information. Then I got to check out the information that I'm getting. Then I got to check out that information because I got to make sure that what I give you is truthful. But you know, hit me up if there's something that you guys would like for me to talk to you about. Have you been to the Truedale terminal? Not that I'm aware of. And Ray Del Sol, hello there. Hello to you. Waiting to test out my license. Keep getting pushed back. If anyone wonders about contacting various schools and companies and schools, I strongly suggest the company. Swift doesn't have one in my state though. Okay. Now, Ray is saying that he would suggest a company school. Obviously, he's having a little bit of trouble with the school that he's attending, and man, again, you guys, when y'all see me post about the live with Autumn again, make sure you tune in because we're going to talk about some of that stuff because you can the worst case scenario in his scenario in Ray's scenario he just needs to be tested. He's gone through all of the requirements. He just needs to be tested, and his test date keeps getting shuffled on him. That's pretty not good. But worse than that is you get tested out, you get your license, and nobody want to hire you. And excuse me, try not to be rude to me. The worst thing about it is you get tested out and nobody hire you because of where you got your license from, and how you acquired it, and you still end up, having to go through a rash of crap to get hired. Okay. But Ray, hang in there. Don't give up. Okay, they're gonna have to test you out because there's only so much time between the time you finish the school to testing. There's a period of time there. It's not an infinity amount of time. Checking in from Sacramento, California. He just left Salt Lake City, man. You know what I'm saying? California, bro. I can not go to California for the rest of my life and I'll be all right. It ain't saying it's a bad place. It's just that 55-mile-an-hour thing just woes me to sleep. Oh my God, throwing coffee on my face. Because that 55, man, it just gets me. It gets me. Rosemary. Hi. Hi, Rosemary. Adol. Hey, Ricky here. I'm a rookie too, brother. Why do planners reduce the miles? Well, why do planners reduce the miles? That question, I want you to send me a little bit more of what you're saying, okay? Are you saying the distance miles are reduced, like from the customer to the receiver miles, or are you talking about your overall miles? Let me know what you're talking about. If it's if it's from destination to destination, short miles, where you're saying reduced miles, uh, then I can say this. Let's say uh, the those calculations are city to city. Okay, so where you pick the customer, where you pick up the load from the shipper, their exact address, distance to the receiver's exact address is more likely going to be longer than what's you're actually paid for, because they do that from city to city, not from the customer's doorstep to the other customer's, the receiver's doorstep. Okay, so if that's what you talk about, they're not actually reducing the miles, but that's industry standard how they do that, city to city. Okay, now if there's an amount right there that, depending on your company, if it's, you know, with over 15% or 10% or whatever, then they will pay you for that. Okay. Now, if you being the planners reducing the amount of miles that a specific driver gets, it may have to do a whole lot with that specific driver's driving habits. It also may have something to do with the amount of freight in the area where that driver is running. There's a whole lot of goings on that could happen to make a driver get fewer miles. Okay, but it's not the planners planning for them to get fewer miles. It doesn't quite work that way. But if I didn't answer that, our dog, if I didn't answer that, then rephrase it a little bit, give me a little bit more information, and I'll try to answer it again. Okay? Quiet X Riot. There used to be a group, a band called Quiet Riot, who was pretty significant when I was in high school. With CDL schools, you have to do your research. Oh my gosh. Quiet Riot must, he know what he's talking about. Let's tell you something. What he's saying is you got to be careful to check those schools out real good, and that is a big thing, because, man, look, just like there's a school that they're talking about, come down to school, you can be a paralegal, Come to our school, you should be the court reporter. Come to our school, get you a CDL license. Man, please. Then they charge you stupid money. Cray stupid money. And then you go over there and you have a bad experience, Raggedy trucks, and then they got a bad reputation. So even if you got a license, when you go to apply for a job, they're like, where'd you get your license from? Crazy in the summer gun truck driving school. And then we go, man, no, we ain't hiring you. Your CDL got it written in crayon. What you talking about? So he's right. Not only does Quiet Riot have a good band, he got a good point. Raydale Soul. I'm already signed up with Swift. Beautiful. When you starting, Raydale Soul? Oh man, I just pushed it and a whole bunch of stuff happened. Let's see if I can. Okay. Quiet Riot. That's right. It's not always the planner. Quiet Riot Collins is right. It's not always the planners. Okay. Yeah, he's right. Higgins, what's happening, buddy? Rosemary, how are you? Quiet Riot. Oh, I know. I'm seeing the cruise. My cruise 58, and it just cruise. Yeah. He's talking about he bumps up a little bit, go 58 in Cali. Oh my God, man, it just woes you. And then, you're driving in Cali, and I'm in the right hand lane. And then he got to ride in the right hand lane. Okay, California got some crazy rules about what lanes you can drive in as a truck, right? And so you'll see other trucks coming past you, I'm doing 55. I know they doing every bit of 70, and I'm going, how they getting away with that? It just makes me feel like I'm going even slower. But I ain't finna go speeding because I ain't jeopardizing. I ain't jeopardizing. Period. Let me see what else we got here. J Buddy, J, if you can afford a CDL school at a college, you have better options. Most states have grants CDL right now. If you, what he's saying is, you can go to a CDL school at a community college, which is an excellent option than going to these, your homeboy's truck driving school. Most of these colleges are accredited. Because they are accredited, you can use state grants and stuff like that, or GI Bill, or whatever you got, and you can go to a community college and get your truck driving CDL, your CDL, and you may not owe anything depending on if you got a full covered grant, So that's a good deal, and if you come to a mega carrier or any carrier with and you already have your CDL that you got through an accredited school, then you basically go through the orientation and then you get on a mentor's truck for $200, just like you went to a school that the company sent you through. And Roseberry, I'm doing wonderful. I'm a little bit drowsy because I've been up all day messing with this stuff, but I've just about got it figured out. But I am doing lovely. When I get done with y'all, I'm gonna go. I made some pulled pork in my Instant Pot. Ooh, boy, I can't wait to get out of here so I can go eat some more of that. That was good. That's some good stuff. It's not a matter of paying it. I could have gotten a grant, but Swift has to offer. Okay, so Ray was saying that it's not a point of this point in that he's got to pay for the school or anything like that, but he wants that job waiting for him when he got here. And I will tell you this. Swift is a good place to come, and I haven't regretted a single moment. I am so glad I've made this choice. There's another company I was going to go with, and I went with Swift because I could reach my end game quicker with Swift. And plus, when I hear somebody always talking crazy about somebody, make me wonder how much truth is behind it. Swift gets a lot of hate. A lot of hate. Make me wonder about that, how much truth to that is. It's zero truth. I knew it. Zero truth. Because I'll tell you something, I haven't regretted a single minute. Not a single minute. But I will tell you this. Ray, when you get that golden ticket in your hand, brother, everybody wants you. Everybody wants you. That is, you the man when you got that CDL, brother. And so don't be overly concerned that you're not gonna find a place to work when you get out here. When you get that license, see them they start beating your door down trying to get you to come in there. But just make the right choice, okay? Don't just go for it because it's there to be, gotten, okay? Do your due diligence. Make sure the companies that's begging you to come work for them, because they will be begging you to come work for them, make sure that they are that's a legitimate company. Okay, you want to get paid. Stan, what's up, Stan Dodge? What up, brother? Stan, you gonna come out here and be a mentor with me, man? We need some mentors to get some of these students down the road, brother. Help some of our new and upcoming Swifties, bruh, they are backed up, needing some guys like you and I to come up there and step up and help them out. Uh, Gerard did craft dedicated for people say I'd make a good mentor, but I'm afraid of other people's driving. Please talk to me. Okay, Gerald. Let me tell you a few things, okay? And this is the truth. You know, when you come here, I'm just going to speak this to you straight up, okay? You know how many people tell me, you can probably go back and look at some of my videos when I say I'm going to become a mentor. You know how many haters I got when I said I was going to become a mentor? You ain't got 45 years experience. You can't be a mentor. You don't know what you're talking about. You just risk yourself. Blah, 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 blah. I've been completely successful being a mentor. Okay? And if you have the heart of a teacher and you want to share some of what you have in here with someone else, you will be successful as well. Okay? You just have to want to share that knowledge with somebody else. And let me tell you something else. Outside the money, you're gonna get paid, bro. You gonna put it to you like this. If picture 3 months out of the year, 2 of you is banking, but all the money going to your pocket. Think about that. The money is very good. Outside of that, the very vast majority of mentors will attest to this is true. Most of, and I say this, and I hadn't had that really on my truck, but and I'm saying it, but it's true. The vast majority of people who get on a mentor's truck get on a mentor's truck with a bag with everything they own. Everything they own in this world, they bring with them on a mentor's truck. You have a unique opportunity as a mentor to help someone change their life. They may be struggling, obviously. This may be their last straw, you know. And because they're not sitting in one of those, I call them jail cells. I don't know if you've seen those rooms here in Salt Lake where the students go, it's like these double bunks, and it looks just like, you ever watch Oz, But, I mean, they need someone to help them. And when you share your space with them, share a meal with them, and teach them how to perform this job successfully. And then a day comes when you drop them off at a terminal and they start the upgrade process, and you see all of this change when they're done and they're finished their upgrade. You have been a big part of changing their life from living day after day after day and living it out of the bag they brought onto your truck to a future that is as numerous a possibility, and you are a big part of that. It's outside of the money. So, because that's a good thing, there's going to be haters, brother. There's going to be haters. Everybody who has ever tried to do anything good had haters, because there are some people who are down and they want everybody else to be down with them. They don't want you to be successful, and they don't want anyone else to be successful. They just want to wallow in sorrow and misery and complain and be haters. That's who the world is. They've always been there. They ain't going nowhere. Okay, so they're gonna come up with stupid scenarios like, I don't want to put somebody in my truck and then they have a wreck and what with me in the truck. Ask them how many times that's happened. The chances of that is so slim. First off, you're not gonna go to the bunk and let somebody drive you around that you're not sure can get you safely where you need to be. Is that not true? Of course it's true. Of course it's true. You're gonna have the same uh, demeanor with someone driving you around in that truck as if that person, you let them go and they start driving up and down the road next to your family. Would you want that person driving that truck next to your family? If the person driving the truck next to your family, if you could have any part in making sure that that person driving next to your family was skilled enough to drive safely next to your family, would you take that opportunity? I bet you would. So why don't you? Try to make a difference. You know the guy who drives through the truck stop at 50 miles an hour? What if you had an opportunity to mentor that person and taught them to drive through a truck stop no faster than 8 miles an hour? Maybe that guy wouldn't be driving 50 miles an hour because you was his mentor and you taught him the proper way. It's not always negative, brother. We make okay right now. Either live in this world and don't complain, or live in this world and try to make a difference. Uh, let's see. Billy Form I called 50 and I called Autumn. Oh, let me go further than that. I think I've rambled and then lost a lot of what's going on. I know you guys are having conversations too. Uh, Ray, if you got fired, you want to quit, you owe 6,000. Yep, in my case, I pay 2,000. Okay. Uh, Jay was talking about again about the amount of money that you have to pay for school here at Swift Transportation, and I know that the numbers change, but somewhere around $6,000. He's right, um, and uh, and they take that money out of your check each week, and if you so after a year, it is paid off, and then. Don't quote me on this again. It's something we can ask Autumn to be for sure. But you start getting this money back, and it doesn't take the whole year. They start paying you like 3 months or so in after solo or something like that. Because I started getting that money back. Um, but at the end of it, you're not paying $6,000 because they giving you like a sign-on bonus. Like, I don't know what it is. It's okay. If I'm just telling you what mine was, $3,000. So to get $3,000 sign-on bonus, my school is $3,000. Guess how much I pay for school? Grant money, $0. Okay, that's the truth. I'm telling you the way it worked with me. Okay, now uh, Jay is correct. You need to be diligent and make sure that however you're going to get that, you acquire that CDL. And by the way, if you do your due diligence and you choose the right company, then what difference does it make? Because if the school is financed by the company and you don't qualify for any grants or anything like that, so you actually have to pay for school, which is, you know, you pay for the food, you should pay for your education too. I mean, Grants ain't free. Somebody paid for that. Like this guy paid for your grant. That's how it works. So somebody paid for it. It's not free. Maybe free to you, but it ain't free. Uh, but um, at the end of the day, no matter where you go, make sure this is the place that you're gonna stay and make a career, and that it's gonna work for you. And if that's the case, and you have to pay for your school, then in the case like a mega carrier like this one, you're gonna get a lot of that back. Okay. Um, Hit that like button, y'all. Thank you. I sure appreciate that, Jeremy. Let them know, big dog. You welcome there, Brandon. Quiet ride. I've only been driving 9 months, but I did a lot of research. Also, watched all your videos. Yeah, I learned a lot here. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Quiet Ride. Come on, Quiet Ride. We need some mentors, brother. Billy Farmer, hey. 50 where's Autumn? Man, I'd like to know. I saw her bobbing head. She was behind that desk like this. So I think there's a lot going on with the recruiting stuff. And because of you guys, she is really busy. And when she don't return my call promptly, I know there's something going on. And she pretty busy. I talked to Maria. I was told to update my info since July. I was debating on coming back. Um, well, you can do that, Billy. You can either update your information online, or if Autumn, you can shoot her an email or emails at the end of the video, and then she can send you it, and then you can have her as your recruiter, and that's the way you can choose the specific recruiters. But if you fill it out online, you're going to get anybody, unless she hooked you up in the past. You know, if she was your recruiter in the past, then she'll be your recruiter now. I was holding up. Okay. Research. I don't know what college system. Okay. Let's see what the college is. Let's see here. Yeah, Gerald, come on, be a mentor. Anything to help. Pay it forward, yes, sir. Good deal. Rosemary, I want to. Can't drive it yet. Rosemary, you want to do this, but you said you can't drive very good. Can you do it? Rosemary. Rosemary, the only thing you can't do is, become pregnant by yourself, okay? Just about everything else in this world, you can do whatever you want to do, long as you put your mind to it. You may not be able to drive very well right now. That doesn't mean that you can't get the training that you need to be successful, okay? The fastest way to get me to do something, tell me I can't do it. You have to have that same attitude, and you can do it. And yes, you can make some really good money doing this. It's a lot of fun too. Okay, you get to see a lot of stuff you've never seen before, unless you travel the world. And it's a difference traveling in a plane and traveling in that truck, because you get to see stuff in that truck. And in that airplane, all you see is white cloud and sleep and eyelids. to. I really do, but nobody want to teach you. First, do you have a? You have to first have a driver's license. You know, driving the car first, and you have to have a driver's license for a year before you can do a CDL. And you can go to driving school. Don't let anybody stop you because nobody want to help you. Hey, do it yourself. Help yourself. Go to driving school and have a paid instructor teach you. They're going to do it because that's what they get paid to do. And you get your car and you drive around and get you some experience driving. Then them people who didn't want to help you, when they say, hey, can you take me to the store? Wave at them with one finger. They ain't help you. No, don't be mean like that. Don't be mean. You can't reward hate with more hate. Okay, so but still, don't let anybody stop you from doing it. Go to driving school. Get your license so you can drive yourself around town. And after a year of having your driver's license, then you go to get your CDL. Let's see what else we got here. Good evening, Double A. Good evening, Swifty. When you come through, US 6, step by your dinner. Well, Mr. Double A, I would love for you to buy me dinner. That'd be a good thing, because I rarely don't, not eat. I likes to eat. Gabe, what's up, brother? When is the best time to go to trucking school? Tomorrow. Last week would have been a better time. The week before that would have been even better. A month before that would have been great. A year before that would have been terrific. Okay. Now, tell you something, brother. Just like any business, there's ups and downs. Okay. Yeah. And then if you're doing this, and then you try to go get in any industry, I don't care what it is, in any industry, you're just doing like this, and you say, yeah, hello, can I come in there and get a job with you? They're going to say, what? No, we ain't hiring. You see it doing this, right? So when freight is low, hiring starts slowing down. But if there's a valley, then there will be a peak. It's coming back. It's just, it does this. That's the way industry is, In every industry, every one of them. My wife's a nurse, and sometimes they will put her on call because there's not enough patients in the hospital, and she works for a huge hospital. I mean, huge hospital. They do it all, So, there should always be some work over there, right? But even at the hospital, sometimes I think morticians is going, man, this year they had a hell of a damn flu vaccine because ain't nobody dead. Even they get it. Come on. They going outside wheeling, caskets outside talking about, hey, 50% off, jump in. Hey, even they don't have it, you can't control it. I mean, it's a good year to live. Ain't nobody dying. And then the morticians is mad because they doing this. They want to do this. They want to dig, put you in there so they get paid. But you know what I'm talking about. Okay, every industry has ups and downs. And right now, freight is kind of doing this. But guess what? What's in a couple of months, man? Spending money season. What happened was for folks spend money, they got to have stuff to spend money on. How they get it? They can't do like Genie, ding, 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 and then poof, what they want is right in front of them. It almost seems that way, right? You get on the computer, you find something you want, click, 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 ping, and then the next day it's at your house. Sometimes it's the same day somebody ring your doorbell and hand it to you. You go, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it ain't gonna be amazing if you and I don't do our job. Bam, pay me, baby. Eventually, we're gonna start rolling, okay? So when is the best time, man? Shoot, as soon as you can, bro. As soon as you can. Every moment that you wait is a moment you waited too late. Okay? We don't put yourself on hold. Don't put yourself on hold. And I don't care. I'm not pushing. Come see me. Come call my recruit. Come Swift. Hey, listen. I don't care what you're gonna do. Do it. You want to be a dentist? You want to go to dentist school? Quit watching TV and go to dentist school, man. Whatever you're gonna do. You want to work construction? Go buy a hammer. Get up off your butt and go buy a hammer. Make something happen. Go start knocking on stuff. Okay? Do it. Do it. It's not gonna happen if you don't get up and start doing it yourself. Okay? Okay, you're 10 school. Okay. You getting to videos. I am in my last week of school. Oh my gosh, in Greer, South Carolina. I've been out there numerous times. Good old place to be. 782110. What does that mean? 782110. You have to email me and tell me what that means. You have to email me and tell me what that means. 207810. Yep, some good folk down there in Greer, South Carolina, and I'm glad you got out your bum and you made something happen. Good deal, brother. Come on with it. When the trade war ends, Jay Boss said when the trade war ends will be those. It doesn't. You can stay a little slow. Yeah. Well, I can tell you this, bro. Jay was talking about the trade war and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what anyone's political affiliation is, but I'm definitely gonna root for the man in my corner. If he in my corner, I'm gonna root for him. And for a long time, America has taken the back seat to trade. We have become because this is a very, very wealthy country. We've become a country of consumers. We're not producing the type of stuff that we would produce that made this country a massive powerhouse that it was. It had to change, and it's going to be a little growing pains to make that happen. But when it do, brother, we're going to have some freight to move. So come on. Get that TDL, come on. Rosemary, get it, come on. Swift Transportation is #1. That's Victor Newton. Let me tell you something, Victor. You're 100% right, and I have to admit that if I was wearing somebody else's uniform. Name the folks bigger and badder than Swift, bro. Hey, man. I am so happy I came here. I am. I was actually going to go to a different company, but one of the reasons that I chose Swift is because I was able to stay in Texas and get my CDL, and I would get to a truck on my own faster than anybody else that I had considered, and then I started realizing what this company really was about, and I was super happy that I took this route, and you guys will be too. As long as you don't let no crazy people get in your head, be all right. Trust me. And yes, Swift Transportation wins out of all trucking companies running for the finish line. Swift Transportation beat everybody every year. That's why some people just got to hate on them because they win too much all the time. Let me see what else we got here on. Easy. Del Rey easy. Because, man, you all need to talk, need to do the walk and lift 50 pounds. Is that right? Oh, about the physical. Rosemary's asking about the physical. Listen, um, I don't remember having to pick up no 50 pounds. Um, you, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but it's part of the physical. But I think they just making sure that you can, move and that you don't have any debilitating, whatever you call it, issues going on. And I don't know. I didn't have to pick up 50 pounds that I remember, and I just had to redo my physical. And it was touch your toes, check your equilibrium, make sure your eyeballs is good, and cough and blood pressure and all that. I mean, make sure your body is legit. And that was some not strenuous exercising, but you had to move around. They just want to make sure that what your mobility is basically. But you can still do it. Don't be discouraged. Swift rules the rest. Intermodal. Yeah. Um, no, see how English is the beast. Then you like England, and they are a big successful company. They are. They're my neighbors. I see them, next door. Let's see what we got here. By the way, what did I do? What did I do? There you go. So, Denton Jones, do you work for those guys? Cliff, what's up, brother? I am doing fantastic. I'm doing even better, just a little bit. I made some pulled pork in my Instant Pot. I tasted it. Oh, woo! I'm gonna go tear it up. As soon as I'm done with y'all, yapping with y'all, I'm gonna go eat it up. I got a question, Joel. I got a question. What do you go through your mind while driving? I drive trucks. I drive a truck and kind of wondering what is going through a trucker's mind. Well, let me see if I can read it again. I got a question. What goes through your mind while driving? I drive truck and kind of wonder what he's going through in a truck. Basically wants to know what the truck driver's thinking about driving down the road. No, you don't. No, you don't. You want to find out what's going on in a truck driver's mind? Oh my God. Go to a truck stop and just go to where the fuel islands are and just start walking by a fuel island and you see a truck driver pump fuel, say, hey, how you doing? You're going to find out everything went on in his life in the last 40 years. Any of them, except for me. You say hi to me, I'm going to say, what's up? And keep on pumping fuel. Because I'm trying to hurry up before one of them start telling me their life story again. Telling you, man. The best thing to do is, find some really good books on tape or on, Audible, basically, and listen to some motivational books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is good. Dave Ramsey, Totally Money Makeover. I like those type of things. Financial, fiscally financial help type of books. I like those. Mysteries, anything like that that can help keep your mind occupied is a good thing. But to just be driving down the road in your brain, whew, what's inside a truck driver's head, man, that's a dangerous place to be. Does Swift terminals have area for pets? They do, and the one downstairs here at the terminal for in Salt Lake, it's like a row of kennels, outdoor kennels. They have roof on them and everything, and then on the opposite side of that is a gated area where they can run around and walk and poop and pee pee and stuff. So it's pretty cool. And just I know Memphis. No, not Memphis. I know for a fact that Phoenix has it, and golly, like about 6, 7 terminals I've gone to, I know they have that. So it's pretty cool. Den Den Jones, can you bring the passenger on your first year with Swift? Yes, you can put a passenger. This is Den. Den, you supposed to tell me if you was driving with HENLAR or not. But yes, he asked the question if you can put somebody in your truck, like drive a passenger with you for in your first year. Yes. Um, Swift gonna buy out CR England eventually. I don't know. We gonna see, bro. We gonna see. I definitely wouldn't put it past them. You know, but England is a big company, man, and if they can't be as big as they are if they don't have some success, and they are they have some success, and um, I wish them well. Um, they'll know they don't have fenced areas for your pets. They do. I'm gonna take a Chris. Chris, they do. I want me to take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture and put it on a video. They do. Now. Not every terminal has that. Okay, but every terminal is pet friendly. Okay, some of the terminals don't have enough room for it. But the bigger terminals, they have fenced areas. They probably have like 10 spots for dogs and cats and snakes and rabbits, whatever you got in whatever you got in truck, Uh, let me see. Yeah, Chris, somebody said the terminals that he's gone to, he hadn't seen that, but they're all pet friendly, and a lot of them do. They have areas where your pet can hang out, and here at Salt Lake and at Phoenix, uh, they have separate driver lounge areas, a whole different building, and so they have a lot more room to put that type of thing. But the guy is pretty cool. I don't have a dog in my truck, and I just kind of feel like, you know, unless you need the dog to keep you from, spazzing out because you need, what you call them, seeing eye dog or whatever you call them, helper dogs, uh, unless you need one of them, man, that's kind of a tight space to have to share with a dog, or a dog got to share with you, and the dog don't get to, be a dog and run around and just got to look at you all day in that truck. And so, I just think dogs would be more happy running around being dogs instead of, you know, truck riders. But that's just me. And some people like the companionship, and I see dogs in the window. I don't know if they speaking to me going, help me get out of here, help me. I don't know what they saying, but you know, they are like this. And I'm thinking, man, I wish I helped that dog. Open the door and let him run. But if I open the door, that bucket will take off and be just 500 miles an hour. He running in the street, get hit by a car. I don't care. Don't want to be in that truck no more. Do the passengers have to be related? He's asking about the passengers in the truck. I'm gonna have to follow up with that to be 100% sure, but I don't believe they have to be related. I know you do have to. They have to be over a specific age. I think 15 or 13 or something like that. They have to be over a specific age, and then you have to get a insurance policy for it to pay for the insurance for them to be on the truck, and I believe that's it. I don't quote me on it 100% because I don't know if that's all, but I know those things are there's an age restriction, and you get the report, so you have pay for the insurance for that person to be on the truck for whatever the time they're going to be on there, and I don't know what else the criteria is, but I had to force my students on the truck with me. Nobody else want to get on the truck with me voluntarily, so my wife said, no. Come on, honey. I'm just going to, it's for short run. I'm in Houston. We're just going to Baytown, 50 miles, and turn around and come back. Nope. You take the cover, take all the way. Nope. All right. How about breakfast? She said, nope. So I can't get anybody to ride on the truck with me. Now, Jay have a 6-pound Chihuahua. Does your You made me say a joke about it. I'm about to ask you if your Chihuahua do that, where them jackets that say I'm gonna help a dog. I see them small dogs. That's a different situation. Because the small dogs can move around a little bit, They got room to move around in the truck with sleep cab, and they can run around and, let's do it. But I've seen people get out there, 180-pound German Shepherd or something, They can move around, man. They need some room. Then see, he say his dog is happy, and it makes him happy, and they can be, dogs are good companions, and so I believe that they can keep a whole lot of truck drivers sane because the dogs in the truck with them. But choose a Chihuahua like Jay did, Great Dane, big old huge American Rottweiler that's 200 pounds. Is there still a shortage of mentors? Billy says, is there a shortage of mentors? Then you got female in these hymns. And the answer is a yes. It could be female, male, whatever gender. They're short, brother. And if you can become a mentor, help relieve some of these burdens, man. So, these folks are ready, man. They wanna come out here and burn some fuel, and for those of us that can give back to our fellow drivers, we need to try to do that. Okay, come on, let's do it. But yes, there is still a shortage. It's tough, brother. No hippie said, am I still going live? How long I've been on here? That's 2 hours. Yeah, I'm ready to go eat now. You need a DOT required break? I do. I need to take my 30, y'all, in a little bit. I'm on Rosemary non-smoker. Good. Keep up the YouTube goodness, fit you bet you MB. I'm giving it a shot, brother. I believe there's a 40-pound weight limit. Yeah, I know it's a weight limit. You're supposed to not have pit bulls too, but I see a couple of them. You know, I don't know, man. Keep folk out your truck. You gonna keep me out the truck if you got a dog in there anyway. You may have to poop or pee pee or something, miss the outside and up in the car. I kind of like my stuff clean, real clean, really clean. You know, I washed my clothes in the washing machines downstairs, and somebody went before me they had the dog and they had the hair in their clothes. And then some hair got on my clothes when I washed my clothes in the washing machine. It made me mad. Nasty thing. She just took outside and flopped it and got some of that dog hair for it, put it in the machine. Yeah, but the more restrictions you have for a mentor, the longer it will take you to get a mentor. Right. So he's asking about mentors. Yeah, if you got a bunch of stuff in if you say, I want a non-smoker, left-handed, female, drive in the southern region, only drive in reverse with a 9-speed transmission. Take you a long time to get that. If you wouldn't have say, you got a mentor, is he breathing? Kinda. He ain't buried him yet, right? Can you prop him up in the seat? Okay, I'll take him. Then you have a better chance. Is there any terminals in Oklahoma, in OKC? Yeah, there's a terminal in OKC. I talked about that 2 hours ago when I got on here, and I talked about how that joker got a Lake Oklahoma in the back of it. Yeah, they may have fixed it by now, but the last time, it's been a while since I've been there. It's been a long time. Been a long time. I was in that Volvo. I almost lost that Volvo in them holes back there. It took it down. I thought I was reading the 4-stick shift the thing. Boom. It was bad. And back there in the back where you're supposed to go, man, you had to wear some hip waders to go back there. I had to park, weasel, but that Volvo can drive, boy. That just turning a dime. And I got it, parked in the tight. But I didn't have to walk back there in the back wall where the real parking was, but you'd have to swim to get out of there. Good people, 2 of them working there. That's it. I think the whole terminal got 2 folk. But they actually got a yard dog. It's a real one, dog. It's a dog. Yeah, I don't know how you get into that truck to drive it and move stuff, but I ain't seen one of them over there. Okay. But yes, Oklahoma City has a terminal. Fun place to be. Bam. Billy Farmer, I'm a sister. Billie Jean, Billie Jean, my lover. Billy, I bet you looking for a female mentor. Man, I hope you can find one. It's a real shortage of mentors. It really is, and it's even harder to get a female one. Okay, but hang in there if you're waiting. Hang in there. Have you ever been just terrified from a student? So, person wants to know if I've ever been terrified from a student that you're training. No, not at one time. Not at one time. Terrified that they might, snore, fart in their sleep or something. I don't know. I mean, but, have I ever thought that I was going to be in a dangerous situation because of a situation my student was driving? Absolutely not. And if I was, it's my fault. It was my fault that I would let my student be in a position to have a problem that would make me terrified. I go down mountains every day. I go down mountains with my student every day. and I've not one time ever felt there's going to be an issue. You know why? Because I teach them how to go down that mountain. I ain't got to worry about teaching them how to go up because they ain't going up 25 miles an hour. But going down, I'm going to teach them how to not go down that mountain at 120 miles an hour. Therefore, I should never have a reason to be terrified that my student is going to do something weird. Never, it's the thoughts never crossed my mind. I never had a problem like that, and you know, you don't have to be a student to lose control of a big truck. You know, you just have to lose control of a big truck. It could happen to me. It could happen to somebody with 50 years of experience. It could happen to somebody who's a rookie of 2 days. So no, I don't worry about those things. And now I've never had a problem like that. Uh, my thoughts on hour of service proposals. Um, Let me drive them as much as I want when I want. You know, the one that I really like is being able to stop the 14. I really want to do that. I want to be able to stop my 14. If I'm not working out, I perform do that. I want to split that 14. I should be able to stop that 14 from running. Sit at a shipper. I said a shipper for, a couple of hours and they ain't even started loading me yet or unloading me. Why is taking off my 14? Why I have to pay for that? That's crazy. So yeah, I like that being able to stop 14. Uh, what does team pay per mile? That's a good question, brother. I don't know what the team pay per mile. I know um, if you splitting that 50-50, which you would be, it's the same as a solo driver. I do know that. I don't know. People think that they're gonna make more money team driving. The only way you're gonna make more money team driving is because you're not self motivated. That you need somebody else in the truck with you to crack that whip and say, "Come on, let's go," and then you have some responsibility to make you get up and go. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's not a self starter, but I don't have to have nobody in the truck with me because every 10 hours, 10 hours 1 minute, I'm pushing that button. We going on duty. Okay, but that's self motivation, and if you got that, then you don't need team driving because you're already getting as much as you can get. Okay, you can't get any more than that. You can only get what you can drive legally uh, per day. So just because you're teaming doesn't mean that you're going to get more. So having a company on your vehicle with you is cool, and much more than that, bro. You're not going to have. It's not benefiting you that much. All right, see what else we got. Come on. Uh, is obviously available. Yep. Chris say take whatever mentor is available. You right about that? Let's see. I had a mentor that said they would only teach me 70% of what they know, and I would have to figure out the other 30%. Chris Deal said I had a mentor that said they would only teach me 70% of what they know, and I would have to figure out the other 30%. Eh, man, Chris, that dude or chick, whoever told you that, That's a shallow person. But anyways, I'm not gonna keep on going. Let's just cray to the membrane. Uh, to watch JBL travels, there's very few uh, truck driver channels I watch on YouTube. Very, maybe uh, well, I guess I really can, I'm not loyal to any of them. To be quite honest with you, I know personally Lyle, no hippie transport, and I watch him and because he's straight up. I just have to have real, man. I don't like all that craziness. I used to watch some of these other guys, and then they start getting in these beef with other truck drivers, and instead they had this YouTube stupidity going on, and we're just not on YouTube for the same reasons. And for that being said, I take them as entertainment, not information. So whenever I want to be entertained, I watch them, and I find other things to be entertained with, so I don't watch them too much. To be quite honest with you. And I can't remember the last time I watched JBL Trucking. Swift policy on top bunk sleeping while the truck is moving. I'm terrified to get out of the top bunk and the driver slamming the brakes. Uh, that top bunk sleeping, bro, there is a net up there that you can, you pull that net over you and buckle yourself in. Um, and if you can handle it, I guess you can handle it because that joker's jumping up and down, and it's just like riding, it's like riding at the bow of a boat. Every you feel every wave, and same thing in that bump, man. That bump back there, you just hopping up with every little thing. So I don't know how you could handle it. I've, had a student with their stuff up there, and I would say, hey, man, move your stuff to one side or the other, and then push it all the way to the back, And by the time we get to where we're going, half their stuff is on the floor. So I can only imagine what it's like to have a person sleeping up there while a truck moving. Chris say he's a good guy. That's I'm sure he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about. Let me see. Let me see. They're conversating about mentorings, but those mentors are hard to come by right now. We're trying to, the company wide is trying to, get other people to step up and do some mentoring. Uh, do agree with some of the things. Some things only come with experience. You're right about that. And I believe that to be 100% true because people ask me why I think that I can mentor a student, and I tell them how many years of experience do you need to be a mentor? And 5, 10 years. What do you need to be a mentor? So just say they say 5 years. Okay, you 5 years experience to be a mentor. Okay, let's say that's a fact. How many years of experience are you able to give a student in 200 hours? If they smart enough, they just shut up and walk off because they already know they're not going to out-talk me on that. But the fact is, uh, there are some things that you cannot teach. You're going to have to experience them and and get better at them as time goes on. That's the truth. I step on the top rope just fine, no problem. Whew! Here for you, brother. Golly, you must sleep hard. I can't imagine sleeping on that top bunk. Right, Swift say you can't sleep on the top bunk. it's illegal on the top bunk. Oh, I would rather sleep on the bottom bunk. I don't know about it being illegal. It maybe I don't know that it's illegal, but it might be. I don't. It. Well, you know what? You know what? You may be true about that because I do know of a company who had to get a a pass from FMLA to do that, and I think they got 3 bunks in their truck. Uh, so Swift allows people on the top bunk while the truck is moving. No, no, I didn't say that they did. I'm just telling you there is, they got that. They you think you're gonna fall out while the truck's moving? They got that thing. You can even do that if you just, wild sleeper. I guess I don't know why that thing is there. I guess you can put it over yourself to keep you from falling out if you're a wild sleeper. But if you're looking for a reason to, scoff at a policy that Swift has, and I can't tell you that that's what they allow. I didn't say that they allowed that. If you're looking for something to yap about. I guess that you can figure it out. I don't know, but I didn't say that they allowed it. I just said that there's a net that holds you in. And plus, um, what happens on the truck, while 2 people are in it alone, uh, you're gonna sleep while I'm driving, sleep while I'm driving. I don't want you to sleep on my bunk, sleep on your bunk. And I want to sleep on my bunk. I don't want to sleep on your bunk. So your bunk is up there. So get up there. And okay, I'm up there. I mean, does it happen? It probably does. But does it? I don't know that it's uh, illegal or anything. I just know that there's nets up there. If you want to try it. And I don't know. I don't do it. My students don't do it. You know. All right. Let's give another. Let me see if I got another question that I haven't answered. If I can scroll through here. So we've been on here for quite a while, guys, and I am ready to go and eat. So um, tomorrow, um, I'm gonna try to do the live feed with all these cameras and stuff going, and then I had it going earlier, but I need to get enough internet access to um, hold the feed, and I tried just to see if it was gonna work. I tethered it off of my phone, and it was like, please, we need like a cajillion gig. You ain't gonna do it with your cell phone. That's why that little 30-second deal I put up there, it skipped a lot, and it actually was longer than 30 seconds, but only 30 seconds actually showed up because it kept cutting off, cutting off, and cutting out, and when it compressed it and loaded it as that 30-second clip, but it was actually about 2 3 minutes, and it was more of me, not just a bunch of my student. It was some of me too, and but I'm gonna get the access code, or I'm gonna use the Ethernet so that I can have solid flow of that internet. And then we're gonna do dial in, and y'all can call the phone line here and do some live stuff. Get you some questions answered, and y'all can yap at me on the telephone, y'all. So let's have some fun tomorrow. Thank all of you guys for hanging in there and giving me some thumbs up, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys are giving me some of your time, and a whole lot of it now. 139 minutes. I worked up an appetite, but I really do appreciate y'all. Understand that every minute that you spend with me, you're not getting that back. That time is dedicated to me, and I really appreciate it. I truly, truly do, and I want to continue to bring y'all good, solid, and real information. And anything you guys have as far as questions or anything, um, you or topics, things, information you might want to know, please let me know. That helps me to give you guys information that you want, not what I think you want. Okay? All right. I really appreciate you guys. And here we go. Oh, by the way, Rosemary, I'm gonna go get me something to eat. Talk to you later. Bye bye.